tangerine bouquets. These are, looks like tropical Amazon roses, a beautiful pin cushion tortilla. One of the things we talked about on Tuesday night, I think it's really important to know, is that when you're ordering flowers, make sure to order what you really, really want. Sometimes we worry about budget too much, and then we order something and it's not quite what we'd like to have. And by that, if this is the tortilla one, this is an Ecuadorian variety that comes in yellow and orange. It's very beautiful. An Ecuadorian variety, just like with Ecuadorian roses, a little fuller, a little larger, very, very nice. We're going to talk about mini callus when we get to some of those bouquets. But it's important to keep an eye on what you're getting. We always use Canadian gerbils, which is one of the largest customers in the country for Canada, for large and medium gerbils. So you can see a couple of new varieties when we bring them out, and I'll show you those as well. This one here, I really like this ribbon. John, do you have a honey one? I switched it up on her here. I'll take that. I don't want to go in front of the speaker for fear I'll blast it. But it's like a variegated aspidistra foliage, but it's not. It's actually ribbon. And the designer Sherry on Tuesday evening used that to wrap the stems. Very pretty. Very easy to work with. One of the things I showed on Tuesday, it's actually like a number 100, but it's very easy to rip in hand. If you just want a little bit, maybe for a boutonniere, or something even smaller if you want like ribbon. That's how easy it is to work with. And very, very inexpensive. This is one of the new, the spring designer ribbons. Isn't that gorgeous? It almost looks like it's lit. Once you put it into a bouquet and have it cascading down or into a centerpiece, it has a really nice reflective quality to it. $6.50 for 10 yards, about 65 cents. 65 cents, you figure if you need 3 yards to make a bowl, it's about $1.80, let's say $2. That's a great value, right? Many of the silk flowers are much more. One of the other things that we used a lot, whether in the designs in silk or fresh, was the different wire products from Smithers Oasis. Smithers has come up with a lot of unique wire components to add to bouquets and to highlight things. You'll see some really neat bouquets coming up in a few minutes as well. So the designer combined that gauze type ribbon with the wires to give a nice reflective finish to that. In my right hand, here's a beautiful bright color bouquet. We're seeing a lot of trends towards brighter colors, a mixture of pastels, not just monochromatic. So we're showing that here. The texture, the designer actually just used tree fern and shaved it down to give a little bit of a different texture to that bouquet. But the handle itself, it almost looks like it's electric. It's on fire there. Beautiful purple gauze ribbon, and she's added the pearlized wire ribbon with it. And on this hand, talk a little bit about the mini callus we used here, right? Because many times we're buying mini callus and we're worried about price. So if you worry about price, you have to worry about size too with mini callus. A 40 centimeter mini callus is less expensive than a 50 or a 60. But what you get with that is a much smaller head. So many times we get designers in that want mini callus, but they like the bigger head. So what you really want to ask for is a 60 centimeter mini callus. But no matter what the color, because one of the rare flowers, I think there really is a difference between the length of the stem and the head size. So if you like a nicer head size for something like this bouquet here, you really want to ask for a 60 centimeter, at least a 50. If you take a 40 centimeter, you might save $3, but you're going to get a really small head size. In a case where you might want to use it though, is if you're doing it for body flower, for corsages or boutonnieres, I think you want to ask for a 40 centimeter, so it's a little bit more appropriate. Here we have dubia, the orange dubia here that the designer has surrounded the bouquet. I have to get this right because I didn't get it right on Tuesday. It's very similar to the Star of Bethlehem, but it's orange. On Tuesday I said Bell's Fire, so I knew it was a foreign country, I just didn't know which one. So anyway, and also the Sweetheart Roses that were used in the center of this bouquet, these were actually what's called Brilliant Stars, the brand name. They're from a company called Connectifor out of Ecuador. With the Brilliant Star spray roses, once again, it comes down to getting exactly what you expected. If you go to, let's say Kroger right now, you buy a small bunch of 40-centimeter spray rose. Very inexpensive, $3.99, $4.99. But what you're going to get is probably 2 to 4 heads per stem. With the Brilliant Star variety, you get you a nice stem length, 50 to 60 centimeter, but you're going to get 7 to 10 heads per stem. So with a bunch of 10 stems, you're going to have anywhere from 6 dozen to 100 individual florets on the bunch. So if you're doing something like this tightly done bouquet, you want to go with that Brilliant Star because the value is there. And the heads are much more defined, has a more classic rose shape, so it really works out very well. But remember that name, Brilliant Stars from Connect. Here's one, it was very curious that Jonda had come in. Jonda here is to my right, she's our Vanna this afternoon. She brought in a Pinterest and she was showing me on her phone one of the new bouquets that Pinterest was showing. And on Pinterest we see a lot of things that are very natural, woodsy. I think fresh picked comes to mind, like somebody's gone out to the garden and got some different materials, not just flowers. Here she's, the designer Sherry used some Adonis, a little Caspia, some silver dollar, used a nice beautiful green kale, very popular right now. So it does have that very fresh garden pick look to it. Again though, we are seeing a little bit of the blade or a little bit of that eclectic finish, so the designer added some beaded wire. You can see that burgundy beaded wire. Again, that's from Smithers Oasis. They've done a nice job for it. Just something light and soft, but it does give a little metallic finish. For an evening wedding, it catches the light a little bit better. This one here, beautiful selection of color. Using the pink freesia, and actually it's kind of a hot pink freesia. It might look a little lavender to you, but the lavender freesia from Canada is truly lavender. Okay? Our friends from Rosaflora in Canada are very generous with their donation of product. This is viburnum from Canada right now. Keep in mind in Canada they grow in all the different regions, right? So we can get viburnum a little bit later in the season by getting it north of the border, so to speak. Maybe it comes from British Columbia. Something like that. Finish it off with a little bit of a purple waxflower, and again that orange dubia. A nice mix. We're seeing a lot of things. When I used to do consultations in my other life, many years ago, right? And talk to the bride and say things like, "Oh, it's a yellow dress. I'd like some pretty yellow flowers." And I'm like, "Well, are you gonna have a photograph?" And I said, "Well, yeah, of course." I'm like, "Well, if you're gonna do the same monochromatic color bouquets in the dresses, you're not even going to see it, so you might as well not even do flowers, right?" So a beautiful mix like this, maybe against a nice green dress, a bright green chartreuse color, maybe even against a navy blue dress, so that it has a strong contrast. I think you get more value for it that way, correct? So anyway, just a couple of thoughts on that. Love the color. You got to be careful with color, you know. When you get too wild with color, sometimes you hear phrases like, Latin wedding gone bad, you know, did they make that okay in the car? But sometimes you do that nice blend, you know, use your color wheel and go to the different degrees and match it up with contrasting colors. Of course, pink is always a very popular color, that soft creamy pink. One of the new items, Sherry, can I ask you to do me a favor? In Charlie's section, I believe he's got pink Hypericum. Could you pull a bunch so I can show everybody today? Hypericum today comes in all different colors, right? Now we're getting in even to different sizes. If you ask for the romance variety of Hypericum, you're going to get a much bigger berry. It's almost marble size, some of this is beautiful. But now we're getting into this white, we have beautiful yellow Hypericum, and you can ask for the colors that you want, whether it's just a contrast or a texture component that you're going to add to your bouquet. I really like that white Hypericum, gorgeous. And then that Canadian Girl in a beautiful cream color with just a hint of the baby pink throughout the center of it. Very well done. And then of course, some beautiful pink garden roses, pale pink. Probably a pink O'Hara would be a beautiful garden rose. It gives you a nice fragrance to it. Very well done. And pinks and purples and hot pinks. You know, it's funny, we talk about things we used to do when we were younger in design. And the shop I started at, Floyd's in Redford, you know, we always did a mixed bouquet, with, in the front cooler that we had for animal stock. And they had like daisies, mini carns, status, and babies rep. So after a while, by the time you make about 100 of those, you're thinking, I really hate babies. So you quit using certain things. Or other flowers like the mini callas and callas were so associated with funerals. In the 60s and 70s, we could never sell callas for a wedding because everybody would walk in and go, well, that's a funeral flower, not one. Today it's much different. But the butterflies, long story short, you know, we used to use the butterflies to dress up the dish gardens back in the day. And it kind of became passe, but now it's very strong. I think, again, it goes back to the bride today who wants a very natural wedding. So the butterflies are a nice tie into that, back to nature. So we had a little caspia, some of the topaz or possibly pink Floyd roses, give you that beautiful hot pink shade, and a few peonies. You know, I don't know if everyone knows, but Red Kennecott, the founder of Kennecott Wholesale, our parent company now, is growing peonies in all different regions across the world. So he has a peony farm in Costa Rica, he's got peony farms in Arkansas, he's got peony farms in Wisconsin, and he now has peony greenhouses in Alaska. So what he's trying to do is give the bride something that they want 52 weeks a year, but it's very important. And this is what I wanted to show you, the beautiful Hyperion pink. So we have white, we have pink, we have yellow, we have the green, of course the original brown and cocoa Hyperion. And honestly, with a lot of the weddings now, I think when I think of older weddings, maybe second weddings for some mature brides, you see a lot of that white, that mocha color, the coffee color. So that chocolate Hyperion would still work for that as an accent, wouldn't it? Maybe you can lighten it up a little bit of green. But I love that pink. Natural pale pink, and it would go just as easily with that bouquet as with anything else. Thank you. Thanks, Jared. Oh, you're welcome. Here again is some beautiful, these are actually pink garden roses. They're not just pink spray roses. And when you get up close and you take a look, I think you'll see the difference. Because they do look like a softer garden rose variety. And then in the very middle, some of you might look at that and go, is that Bavaria? The smaller flower here? It's not Bavaria, it's a clancho plant. You know, Canada is now cutting the clanchos. I mean, if you see it on a price sheet, if we're wholesaling Gerber plants for $3.60, that same size in a clancho plant is like $1.80. Right? So it's a very affordable flowering plant, but they have found that it holds up well as a cut flower. So I think for weddings and events, that pink clancho is a really pretty color. It's just the right shade of pink. And of course the proteas. You know, one of the things when you're looking at design styles and what we're seeing, you know, brides are searching for flowers, they're searching for unusual types of flowers, and proteas still are at the top of the list. And the nice thing is, after the wedding is done, if the girls wanted to, which many of them do, they want to save something, you can pull those protea out of there and dry them very easily, and they'll look just like that. So you can do a nice permanent botanical arrangement using that protea as well afterwards. And then here again, as I said, not that long ago, I guess it's not that long, 30 years, maybe it's a long time for some people. But when I was a kid, we could never get away with using callas like this. But today, I think the modern bride, the bridesmaid, they're much more sure of themselves. They'd like to carry a scepter type of look. I mean, these beautiful white roses with a hot pink edge. Isn't that gorgeous look to it? Afterwards, when we get done, I'm going to have out here some posters. One of them, all the new and different rose varieties from our friends at Royal Flowers. And then from Rosaflora, our Canadian partner. You'll have all the different varieties of large and mini gerbs. It'll have some of the new varieties of the gerbers that they have. And then also, the nice thing with the chart from Rosaflora, you can match the color of the large and the mini gerb. So we're not just contrasting, you can actually match as well. So beautiful scepter.